Okay.
You're going to start
cool.
from her? Or you
Huh?
going to start from me?
No, what's that?
Generally.
Yeah.
In the name of the Father and of the Son and of the
Yeah, for the prayer. I'm keeping this in, by the way. We're recording. I'm keeping it in.
Lord Jesus, help me. Yeah. Let's start this podcast in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Praise the Lord. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the Vendors Table for another episode. Today, I'm MC Midday. Today we are joined by D Fabulous. And also Ronke of Bliss Nuptials. How you guys doing?
Cool. Fine. Nice.
Good.
It's wet out there.
Yeah.
Better now.
Yeah, good. We're dodging the weather inside, so that's all good. Right, so we're gonna start with a dilemma, and then we'll get into the conversation. But it will help us get into the conversation anyway.
Okay.
So,
I love dilemmas.
Okay, let's listen to this.
Yeah, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
She definitely.
Yeah. This probably falls in your area of expertise. So, I'm currently in the process of planning a wedding with my future wife, and we have different views on how best to proceed. I want to have both the traditional ceremony and the white wedding on one day to save costs and allow everybody that we actually want at the wedding, around 250 guests, to be there for both ceremonies, whereas she wants to have them both on separate days, have a big traditional wedding where we give our parents free reign, up to 500 guests, and then have a smaller white wedding, 150 guests. I'm not sure which one works better.
Okay. I think you should also answer this because
Sure.
I know the Alagas have view
It's true.
trad and white on the same day.
Yeah.
I'll let you speak first from that trad aspect.
Yeah. Let's do three things, yeah. So we'll do what is your personal view on this particular dilemma, yeah. And then after that we'll do the pros and cons of both situations.
Okay. My personal view as an Alaga. Same day. If I was to be an Alaga or a parent, let me think about it. Parents definitely will save cost. An Alaga, it will work, and it does work if everything is on time, and depending on which time of the day. If it's in the morning, sometimes it works. The one that I don't really like, and I'm sorry to everyone out there, the late night one. That one is the one they do around 8 or 9
p.m.
Yes, in the evening.
Traditional ceremony.
Traditional wedding. No, that's the one. I've started one at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like it. The morning one will work. But having everything in the same day, it's a lot. I can tell you that you have to be mentally prepared to have all the ceremony, the traditional, the white wedding, the church wedding, everything, the reception in one day. You have to be mentally, it can be draining, but once you're prepared for it, it will work. But timing is the most important thing. Coming to that. Okay. Over to you.
So I think for me, what is important to start with is the reason why. And I think the groom alluded to it, to save costs. Because my darling, there is life after the wedding.
For sure.
There's no reason to go and have 2-day event if you cannot afford it. So I feel like you need to have an honest conversation with your bride-to-be and say, listen, I can give you both. Because I don't think the issue is they don't have the money. The issue is they want to save the money.
Yeah.
So it's a conversation with your wife-to-be and say, baby, I can give you both. However, would it not be better that we
What if they have the money to spend?
If they have the money to spend, there's no reason to send this question because it says we want to save money.
Yeah,
right.
But it could be they have different spending styles. So she spends freely, he's a bit more frugal.
This is where communication is so important. You need to be able to communicate and discuss your reasons why. If it's finance, which is the guy's one, and then for the lady, maybe keeping up with the Joneses, for example. So you need
family and friends. She's got a large family.
Yeah, but if
Everybody has got a large family. Priority is what you need to put into perspective.
She has the money that she wants to spend. And she's got a large family. She wants to bring everybody to come and enjoy
Yeah,
themselves.
my dear. I do not think that is the best way to start a marriage, to be honest. Because you need to be able to resolve this.
Yeah, for sure.
You need to be able to come. In my opinion, do it in one day if you want to save cost.
I
There
agree
are
on
ways to make it beautiful in terms of your timeline so that you don't feel rushed. Because one of our concerns maybe she doesn't want to feel rushed.
Yeah.
You know, from changing from trad to this and that. And she wants to do
That is a
all
lot.
of our pictures with our Ashwebi girls and all
Scary.
of that. If you have a timing that works beautifully, and we've done that so many
Several
times
times, yeah.
before, and the time is planned and thought of properly, she can get the best of both worlds. Save
Same
money,
day.
have a happy groom, and have a happy marriage.
Marriage.
Yeah.
And since COVID, same day wedding has been the most popular one.
Yeah.
Since COVID, like we have the trad, we have the white reception, same day. That has been the most popular one. And it saves a lot, of course, I must say.
Yeah, I can imagine.
If you're gonna do 2 days, the DJ, the light,
The venue,
the venue,
the food.
the food,
Times two.
the vendors, like MCs, alaga.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like twice, double the price.
Another thing that they could consider doing is, and I know you may not like this.
Okay, let's listen to that. Let's listen to that.
I've done it before where we will have the white wedding earlier in the day.
Okay.
And I have a wedding, for example, coming up in March where we're having 140 guests in the morning for the white wedding.
All
so
right.
it is nice and quiet. They have the ceremony, they have the wedding breakfast. And then in the evening, about 5 o'clock, we're switching to traditional.
5 o'clock can still work.
Yeah, for a larger number of guests.
Yes, I
So
don't mind that.
way, she gets, mommy gets to invite all the neighbor
millions.
and the street, and then she gets to have the white demure
Okay, let's
wedding that she
let's
wants.
come in that. Let's come into that. Now, are you telling me traditional wedding is just for parents? Because you said mommy gets to invite.
No, but we know that mummies want to add their numbers.
Number one.
But you're agreeing that traditional wedding is not just for the parents.
I think it's for everybody.
It's for everybody. In fact, I feel like traditional wedding is super important.
Thank you.
Especially for those of us that are in the diaspora. It is a way to connect to our roots.
Thank
I
you.
agree.
And it is
Thank you.
super important to have. It's you're respecting the past, but you're bringing what is good from the past, from the tradition into
the present.
Into the present.
However, I have to play somebody's advocate here.
Okay, tell me.
So that in this room, we feel that it is important, traditional ceremonies, because we have that ties and the connection back to it. Some people in the diaspora don't, and they don't feel it's that important. So then for them, it is just for the parents that they're doing it. If it was up to them completely, they would just do their white wedding and just be on their way.
I get that a lot, but I must say, without traditional wedding, I am not sure you're married, to be honest. If you're a typical African or Nigerian, let's say, I am not sure, because that's the culture. They need to ask for your hand in marriage. What we're doing now is should I say the English one or the British one? That's what we all embraced. But what about the tradition? If we don't do it, it's gonna die. Our children will not know about it. That is the culture. I'm a Yoruba girl. For your information. And I want my children to be able to do traditional wedding, because that's the culture. It's very important, because that's when the groom's family, they come to ask for the bride's hand in marriage from our parent. And if they don't do this, that means they haven't begged to marry or pleaded to marry that girl. They just didn't take that girl from the streets. All the family came together and they want to marry. They agreed that, yes, we want it to be our beautiful daughter-in-law and we love you and we're celebrating you. So without that element, I just think your marriage is not complete without traditional wedding. As a Yoruba girl, that's me coming from being a Yoruba girl. And I've seen a lot of times that even in this part of the country, a lot of other community want to do that Nigerian traditional wedding. So there must be something in it. If we have this year, for example, we have loads of interracial weddings. Why do they want that? We have an English bride saying she wants Yoruba wedding. Why? There must be something that they are saying in it. And if outsiders are seeing this culture as beautiful as this, why we ourselves, we Africans, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, why don't we see the importance of this? Why are you saying you're just doing this for your parents?
For me, I think sometimes we do things not because we understand it, but out of respect and out of honor. So, Jen, what Jen are we now? Jen, whatever we're on right now.
Alpha, everything you
They
want to
may
talk about.
not understand it.
Fully, yeah.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
we understand. We've been brought up with respect. We've been brought up with honor, and there's nothing more honorable or more respectful for a groom or a bride to be to do than to honor your parents. And the way to do that is through the traditional marriage.
Thank you.
And for me, it is super important to honor your parents in whichever way, whether it is through traditional or knocking ceremony or whatever ceremony that you wanted to do. But you must honor your parents in that way and in that capacity. Maybe not 500 guests.
And for you to receive their blessings as well.
Absolutely.
That is very important.
Yeah.
And I always tell my couple that this is the only way your parents get to pray for you. Other ones, the white ceremony, the joining together. I don't think your parents have a say. They don't say anything. They don't. Oh, I'm not sure. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I got married
Just
years ago, and I don't think my parents said a word. It's just the minister of the day.
There's only once the father walks you to the front, they ask
He
who
only
gives
walks
him
you.
away, who
That's
gives this
it.
daughter
Yeah.
away, and then he just
And that's
says,
it.
"No, that's it."
But for the traditional, they genuinely pray for you, give you the blessings, and this prayer follow you. And there's glitz and glam in it as well.
Oh my goodness. I love traditional.
Do you want to talk about the outfits? Do you want to talk about everything about
dance?
Yeah, the spraying
There's a
of
lot.
mud.
There's a lot there. Do you know? We're gonna get into the format and the structure. We're gonna walk it through because there's a lot to unpack there. Just before we do that, I want you guys to introduce yourselves actually, just so we can give people a full flavor of who you are, what you do.
Okay, introduce myself as my brand. Okay. My name is Busola Adams of The Fabulous Events. And I'm sure you've all, you all know, I am the Duchess of Entertainment, Alaga, everywhere you hear me. They call me. Yes, I am. And I'm a mother of 3, by the grace of God. I'm a PM analyst. Then what do I do again? I'm a minister of the gospel as well. Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
That's very
Hallelujah.
important. Yes. So for me, traditional wedding is a ministry for me.
Okay.
I like that. So my name is Ronke Adora Fabro, and I run Bliss Nuptials, a wedding management and planning company. What I do is I help couple who love the experience, the calm and the creativity in their planning process. And I know we've been talking about tradition, but one of the things that is so important to me for couples that I work with, I love to infuse culture and tradition into the celebration of marriage, because that for me is the focus of my job as opposed to the wedding. I always look beyond the wedding.
That's it.
I am always interested in the marriage. So I help couple get to that happily ever after.
Wonderful. We like that. So we've been advocating for the traditional ceremony, and we love it. I love it.
Guess what? I think you do more of white weddings than traditional weddings.
I do.
Like Ronke, I think I've met her more of when seeing her. Maybe I'm just finishing traditional, but I'm more focuses on white weddings and know her for white weddings. It was further like later when I started seeing her, and just like, oh, you both on Shane traditional. Like she's very good with white wedding. I must say, very, very good. And she's one of the people that have helped the tradition. At least probably sold it to them. Like, guys, look at traditional wedding. Like she said, she wants to infuse culture in it and seeing beyond the wedding day, the marriage itself, and everything starts from this traditional wedding as well.
Sure.
Yes.
So let's walk through what does a traditional ceremony look like, because I know for some people they might have only seen it or parts of it, or they've arrived late and they've missed some parts, or it's been rushed because the days ran late, or so what does a traditional ceremony look like? What's it meant to look like?
Yeah, what is it meant to
What's it meant to be?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it meant to be? A typical day. Let me just run through. Let's see if I can. The bride's family, they're the host of the day, and the groom's family are the guests. In the past, the bride's family gets to be seated, but nowadays they dance into the hall as well. And the groom's family, they go to the door, they do the knocking. Like when you have a guest and they're knocking to come into your house. So they do the knocking, then the bride's family asks them to come in. They come in, they exchange pleasantries with the bride's family, then they have their seats. We have the opening prayer, we have the introduction of both parents, and there's something called letters. Proposal and acceptance letter in traditional wedding. That is key to traditional weddings as well. The proposal letter is from the groom's family asking to marry the bride. And the acceptance letter is from the bride's family saying to the groom's family, yes, we have accepted that you can marry a beautiful daughter. So the mothers dance with the letter. We have a letter reader from the bride's family. And people get this wrong all the time. It's always the proposal letter that they read, not the acceptance letter. And I'll tell you the reason. For example, the bride's family receives a mail in the post. That's the proposal letter. So when they receive the letter in the mailbox and they ask, oh, can you go to the door and get me the post? A member of the bride's family gets the post, right? So they pick up the post and they read the letter to the parent like, Mom and Dad, this is what the letter says. Hence the reason why it's the proposal letter they always read.
Is it usually what, the younger sibling of the bride? Is that
just a younger sibling?
It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be the youngest. It could be a male, it could be a female, it could be cousin, it could be niece, nephew.
Okay.
Anyone younger to the bride can read the letter because it's just maybe we're sitting at home. It's just the youngest one. That you're saying. Don't get it. So that's just the simplest explanation I can give to it. So a younger member of the family picks up the letter, reads it to the family, and the groom's family wants to marry her. Okay, that's what they're saying. Hence the reason why people always get this wrong. Please, this is the reason why we read the proposal letter, not the acceptance. The acceptance letter is just saying they have accepted that they can marry a bride. Now that they've given them the letter, okay, let's see your handsome groom. Is he tall? Is he physically fit? Then he comes in with his friends with a song of their choice. They dance into the hall. They come to the bride's family first because they are the ones they're going to give their daughter out. So we drill the groom, ask him few questions. I think that's I'll wait for your guest to tell me. I think that's the most interesting part of the ceremony. I don't know. Or when the couple comes in, but when the groom comes in and we drill him, people get fascinated by that part of the ceremony. We ask him few questions. Is he physically, spiritually, and financially fit to marry a daughter? Then he proves himself. And after that, he goes to his family to say thank you to his parents. After saying thank you to his parents, and we give him the microphone like a mini speech to say thank you to his parents. Then he sits down. Then we have the bride. Yes, we've seen the groom. Let's have the bride. And bring out the bride.
That's it.
And that's the time. I know. That's just with the friends as well. Bridesmaids. And it's so beautiful to see these groomsmen. At this point, let me say thank you to the groomsmen and the bridesmaid. They are the real deal of that traditional wedding. They do the hyping. They're just so nice. Bridesmaid and groomsmen, you are my real deal. So they're dancing with the bride. She comes to her parents. They pray for her. Then send her forth to the groom's family. Her mom puts the veil on her. Then the groom's family welcomes her. And one important thing I forgot to mention at the beginning, there is most of the time there's always two alagas. I forgot to mention that. Since COVID, we've had one alaga representing both families since COVID. But I must say, in the past, it's always two alagas.
And I think it's better to have two
alagas. So alaga ijoko and alaga iduro. Alaga ijoko representing the bride's family. Alaga iduro representing the groom's family. So people enjoy the banter between the two alagas. When one alaga is represented, it's good. They do that to save cost and to save time. That is very good as well. Don't get me wrong.
Because you alaga can go on and on. Until they've been a bane to my life. And MCs too.
Catching stray bullets.
Look at stray bullet reaching.
Sometimes as planners, you're like, and then because you're in your flow, you're like, But you just carry on. I'm like,
But one
they've
thing,
gone rogue on me.
one thing the Fabulous is being known for is timing. I am very good with my timing.
I can attest to that.
Yes, I am very good with my timing. And that is the market I've sold for the past few years. And where either I'm representing one family or two families, I get to, work with time, especially when we're having same day wedding. We have to work with the time. We have no choice. Then, so going back to the two alaga, so alaga Ejiko and alaga Drew. So I hand, if I'm doing the bride's family now, I hand her over to the groom's alaga to take her to the groom's family. They pray for her, welcome her, unveil her, and she sits and take pictures. Then we have the bridal gift area where she approaches the table, pick a Bible. Some people ask, why Bible? Why Bible? Why does she pick Bible? It's okay. Because nowadays, I've heard a lot of people saying, I want to pick salt, I want to pick honey, I want to pick pineapple.
Gucci.
Yeah. So, but I say to them, when you pick the Bible, everything on that table is in the Bible. Everything. Fruit, you shall be the fruit. You shall be fruitful. Your marriage shall be fruitful, and you'll bring forth your fruit in this season. Salt, you shall be the salt of the earth. A lot of things is like everything on that table. Honey, so many things. And garments, boxes of clothes. You shall be clothed with beautiful garments. So she picks the Bible and we pray with it. Then there's this art. She approaches our groom with the art. Now there's two types of art. Just for or cap, whatever you call it, because I don't. You can come for me with my age factor. That's fine. So let's do cap for that reason. I like that because of your Gen Z, and millennial and alpha. Let me do
the hat
cap
that the guy put on his head.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Yeah. So we have two types. When they're doing for brides that don't know or grooms that don't know. When they're doing your agbada, that's the traditional outfit, ashoke, for a traditional wedding. For the Yoruba, so let me put it because I do a lot of interracial weddings. So it is two types of hat. One is the one with the two flaps. That's abeti aja.
Is that the one?
Yeah, that one like this. That the one with the two flaps. So that one signifies bachelor. You're not married. So that's the one the groom comes in with. Then the one the brides put on his head. That's the gobi, the one that goes on the side. That shows he's now a married man. So that's the difference between those two arts. So some groom will say, I don't want to come, that one is not nice. I don't want to come in with that two flaps. But the significance, it's cultural. The significance is that one is bachelor. If you see any guy wearing that and is married, that's the wrong hat. If they don't get that, that's the wrong hat.
Is it true that you can wear the one, but one side is single, one side is married?
So they say, but it's the one with the two flaps. That's the one.
So really, at weddings, most of the guests should be wearing the flaps.
Yeah.
It will be easier for the single girl. Actually, so maybe this is something we should bring into 2025.
Maybe. Because at the moment, everyone just orders the same one filler that you went to the side. That's what you have for the guests.
The girl's like,
that one is single. That one is single.
I love that.
That one is not. But personally, with the shape of it, I don't like.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't catch on. I'm
sorry about that. Please, my seniors in the industry. I don't like the shape of it, but that's what it signifies. Yeah. Bachelor and married man. The gobi is the one, or gobi, because they can say that I didn't pronounce it right. Gobi. That's the one you turn to the right, to the side the bride will be sitting. Okay. Another one for the bride. You would always turn the hat to where you will be sitting, not the other way, because some they tend to put it this way. But if for example, the groom always sits on the side and the bride sits in there, so you turn it to the side where you'll be sitting. Then after that, the bride gets money from her husband. I like that part as well. He welcomes her into his life, and she kneels down. You might not get that anytime, so enjoy all the kneeling, all the feeding, and everything on that traditional wedding, because she might not do that again. Then she gets money.
Not.
Why would I be kneeling to give my husband food every day now?
Not every day.
Okay, so I thought you meant kneeling down.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, that's another show. Yeah.
Let me check the time.
Okay.
Let me check right after Watershed.
I'm telling you, why would you want to do that every day?
No, why should she not want to kneel down for you every day?
Every day.
Yeah, it's
your wife should kneel down and give you food every day.
Well, I didn't say what she should give. I just said
Do you agree with that? I don't agree with that.
Not to give food. That's not what I'm saying.
To give what?
Maybe you haven't caught us yet.
I am not part of it. To give what?
They are married already now, so let them enjoy one another.
Ronke is born again. She's just
This is the one that started this.
When one is married,
Yeah.
one
Partakes.
Where did you guys take this show to? That is not what I'm... Okay.
Anyway, excited.
as we were saying,
As we were saying. Then they pray with each other. They pray with each other.
yeah, very important.
Then they do the cutting of the cake. After the cutting of the cake, it depends on how you want it. I always tend to do the cutting of the cake before I pronounce them as well. Some people do it the other way around. Because what happens is they tend to forget the cake. And because I don't want to forget, I tend to do it that way. Whichever way we want to do it, there's no right or wrong about that. So we ask them to come forward. We join them with a wedding band and we pronounce them husband and wife. Now, this is another key factor. If the husband can carry the wife, we will do the Igbeyawo. Igbeyawo is the traditional wedding. That's the name for it, Igbeyawo, carrying of the bride. Now, if the groom can't carry the bride, we don't have to do that part. We can skip it. We've had a groom falling
Drop a
out.
bride.
Yeah. Dropping a bride at a ceremony. But, so if you haven't practiced this at home, please, I'm not going to tell you to do it on a day. So when I have the pre-wedding meetings with a couple, I always have weddings with the meetings with a couple. I always ask them, can you carry your bride? If you can't, even on the day, if you see a bride and you see a groom, and you're still asking, and you look at the bride, look at the groom, why do you want to ask that question? You don't have to ask that question.
Common sense should prevail. And with health and safety these days,
Yes.
it's not something that one would advocate that much.
But it's always nice when
It's nice,
they
yeah.
carry their bride. They carry the bride and give her to the groom's mom. This is the significance. The groom's mom now have an addition to the family, like a new baby, which is the bride. And basically, the groom will be telling his mom, this is my sister, my best friend, the person I want to spend the rest of the same way you're going to treat me. That's the same way you're going to treat. And the mom welcomes her, like rock her like a baby. That's the significance of the Igbeyawo and giving her to the groom's mom. And after that, the final bit is the handing over. In a typical Nigerian Yoruba traditional wedding, we don't hand over the bride to just the groom. We hand over the bride to the groom and the groom's family, which makes them responsible for the bride, not just the groom. So the groom can't wake up one day and say, I'm not interested. I said, no, you dragged us to go and do this wedding. You have to make it work.
Yeah.
And we have
I
to
think
put our best.
That is another reason why we were saying at the beginning that culturally and traditionally, that ceremony matters a lot. Because you are entrusting your marriage not to the two of you, because no man is an island. You're entrusting it to a community.
That's it.
And the time that you do that is during that traditional ceremony, where you're saying we're entrusting our marriage to you.
And the families come together and they become one. And that's the traditional wedding. Entrusting that bride into the groom's family's hand, it's very key. They too, they won't want to they'll be like, what's happening? You guys talk about it, make it work and everything. So they have that assurance, there's that security there.
For sure.
So that's traditional, from A to Z of traditional wedding.
Okay. We like that.
Well done. You did it justice.
Oh, thank you.
Indeed. We like that. I learned something new as well. So then with all that being said then, and that being the traditional ceremony, obviously, how long should it actually take?
Personally,
tell us.
No more than 2 hours.
Okay.
If that's not the only thing you're doing that day.
So let's do both. So if it's just a traditional ceremony,
then if it's just traditional, you can stretch it out as long as you can. And this is why.
And I disagree with that.
Alaga.
I disagree with stretching it, even if it's the same day.
You think 2 hours
maybe it's just a traditional one day.
No, maybe 3, but not stretching it.
That's what I'm saying. That stretch it out beyond that 2 hours.
Okay, I agree on that.
3 hours.
3 hours.
I don't think no more than 3.
Please.
No more than
Because
3. It becomes
people
People
won't
losing focus.
concentrate.
Yeah, for sure.
And I personally, as an alaga and MC as well, I don't like when people don't listen to me. So when it's too long, people won't listen. They won't concentrate.
Because they're hungry.
Yeah, half of the time they're hungry.
They're hungry. They want to be fed.
If you're not entertaining them anymore, they just they lose focus. My attention span is low as well. I don't think I can sit for 3 hours. Come on, as well. So I will have to get up at some point. And the reason I put them in my own shoes as well. Like these people have been sitting for that long. We don't want to drag it, so we don't do unnecessary stuff.
Yeah. So then, where does it? If you're doing 2 in 1, if you're doing both in one day, does it work best? Because I've seen it where they've done a traditional ceremony early in the morning and then done the white as normal. I've seen it where they've done it in the middle of the reception. So as they start the reception, they do the trad and then they continue with the rest of the reception after that. And I've seen it where it's done at the end, which
I think I'll pick the first in the morning and end. The middle one, it doesn't sit well for me. It's everywhere. The middle one. So it's either you have it first thing in the morning or you have it before the wedding party at night.
Okay.
You know, after the reception.
After the breakfast.
Yeah,
after
before
the
you
food,
have the what's that one called? Where you change into your dinner outfit and everything, evening dress.
Open the dance floor after party. That's fine.
Before the after party, we can still have that. That's for me personally.
What's your
the middle
preference?
one will not work.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what you're looking to achieve. I've had couple that wanted to have a smaller ceremony.
Okay.
Then it makes sense for them to have the engagement later on in the day where there's a lot of people. There's some people who are having the same number of guests for the ceremony and traditional. Then it makes sense to have the traditional in the morning. So it just depends on what you want to achieve. Both works. To have something in the middle of something else doesn't work. It is important that you give time to everything. As they say, give Caesar what is due to Caesar. So if you want to do the traditional, do it in the morning as a chunk, then leave a bit of space and then do the white wedding or vice versa. But nothing like, let's just slot it in. No, culture should not be slotted in.
I agree.
It should be celebrated. You know, and I know a lot of the traditional that you discussed is typical Yoruba engagement. It is very similar across Africa, whether it is Sudanese or whether it is Ghanaian. The essence really is going to ask properly for the hand in marriage.
That's
you know, and it is celebrated in different ways. With the Ghanaians, you have the the gift giving
and
is
the
still
knocking
there.
as well.
The knocking is still there. One element that
It's quite
I
similar.
love
It's quite similar.
so much with the Ghanaians is when the father asks the bride, "Are you sure?" And he asks her three times. Are you sure you want to marry that guy? She would respond, "Are you sure?" And that for me,
That's an
it's
Igbo
so.
and they do as well.
Do they do it in Edo? That is just so profound because you have to open your eyes and you have to know that this is where you want to go to
For the rest of your life.
Yeah, because when issue comes, and my darling, it is gonna, you need to play that tape back.
For sure.
And then you hear your own self say, yes,
3
I am
times.
sure. Exactly.
The same way Peter heard himself 3 times.
Exactly.
What Ronke is saying is that go and keep your wedding videos. Don't chuck them away so that you can watch again and remember your vows.
And this is me advocating for videographer. I don't understand the thing these days where
No videographer.
couples are like, yeah, we just want the photograph. Video.
What about cinematography?
It's just another big name for videography.
Yeah.
What about content creator? I'm advocating for content creator now.
Content creators are good.
Yeah.
But I don't think they.
How many people, when last did you watch your wedding video?
Every anniversary.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you last watch yours? Do you even have video?
I have video. Guess what?
It's on Bitamax.
Guess what happened? And I don't know if my video man is watching me. Towards the end, they came to tell us that back in the days anyway, they can't find the battery. Something happened to the battery, and half of the ceremony has not been recorded. Yeah.
He came to tell you that the bride on the day.
On the day.
He's wicked. He's wicked.
And I'm thinking, did they want me to do something again or what? What?
What can you
To redo what? What can I redo? I just sat down and my husband said, don't worry, enjoy the day. Don't worry about anything.
Yeah.
And up to today, I don't have half of my ceremony from there.
And I think that, were you upset when it was happening?
When they told me
You were.
I was when they told me. But because I was thinking, so all these memories, where am I going to capture the moment? Like, some of them I was not there, so I need to see. But after a while, I just, partied and everything. And I just danced it off.
They should have kept it to the
But
day
my
after.
photographer, yesterday I still saw my photographs.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful. Beautiful. Atumbi was my photographer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Atumbi was.
Yeah.
And the pictures are still as clear for over 15 years. Nice, nothing happening to it.
Mm.
And that is why it's so important when you are planning your wedding to invest in the best that your money can get.
I'm telling
Sure.
you.
Cheap is not always the best. In fact, cheap is never the best. I understand that you have people starting up and they're trying to build a portfolio and all of that, and they have to start to price themselves to be able to start to get business.
Yeah.
But you only get one chance by God's grace to do this.
Yeah.
So you'd want to invest in, just as you invest in your marriage, you need to invest in your wedding to get the best that you can afford. And, it's nice that you can look back 15 years down the line and you can still see the picture.
I'm saying that, okay. What won't you compromise?
What would I not compromise on?
Like regarding vendors. Tell me.
Mhm. Yeah, so let's do two that you wouldn't compromise on at all.
Vendors.
Food.
I have my own.
I
Ooh.
cannot compromise on food.
On food. That one.
When
Come on.
I am planning a wedding, I am literally feeding guests every 2 to 3 hours. Even if it's just a little something.
She's me, I am
Because
you.
as Black people, as people in general, we function better when
I'm
our
telling
belly
you.
is
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
and you do not want your guests going to McDonald's at the end of the night.
Mm.
And the first thing they would remember is how they feel at your wedding, how long they have to wait for food.
For food.
That one will never be
Cold or
forgotten.
I think dúró látàárọ̀ kàn gbé kọjá wa. You just taking the food. I think dúró látàárọ̀ table yẹn ò tí jẹun.
Yeah. So that
I'm
for
sorry,
me
guys.
is non-negotiable. You need to
Same
get
here.
the best
I
that you
cannot
get.
compromise
Okay.
on food.
So
And-
food, one.
A wedding planner.
Okay. No, you can't say your own. You can't say your own. And you can't say your own.
Okay.
It is the reason why I say that is because the amount of money that, I mean, the average wedding I plan is about 50, 60,
Mm.
right? You cannot spend £50,000 and not get an insurance to make sure that
This
money
means
that you
spend the right way.
invested will be delivered the way that you've the way that you dream it.
Mm.
And for me, your wedding planner is your insurance. Now, if I don't say myself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I agree with the wedding planner part, but I want you to say a vendor outside of
I would
yourself.
say another
I will
vendor.
say,
Okay.
depending on how the couple feel, a videographer.
Okay.
Either videographer or photographer. One of those
the
two.
two.
Okay. Personally, definitely food. That one, I'm a food critic, so I it has to be. The second one, music. I can't compromise on that.
Okay.
Music is very key, and not only music. Let me say, and not just the DJ or the live band. I'm talking about the sound system.
The quality
Maybe-
of the sound.
The quality.
Sound
Maybe because
production.
that's it. Maybe because I'm an alaga.
100%.
They determine the date, if the microphone is if the speakers are not. So that makes your day. Music is very important. The production, everything, the sound system, the music, the DJ, the mix, everything for me. People would eat and enjoy and dance. Those two things. Sometimes they will even forget what the alaga or the MC did, but people would dance and enjoy the food. That one they would take away. I can't compromise on this too.
Because I always say, like, the DJ usually is probably the last thing that you're going to experience. If the DJ is amazing, it can make up for some stuff that has gone wrong during the day. Don't forget about it.
Yeah.
People will enjoy
Yeah.
it. That is true. It's true.
So what's your second?
My seconds?
Yeah, so you said DJ is your first.
No, I didn't say.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were telling us.
Tell us yours.
Oh, tell me
We want to
mine.
hear yours.
Oh,
Yeah, tell us yours.
Oh,
I don't say MC.
Or planner.
I-
Actually, you can say planner.
I think I don't know if I'd necessarily say planner because I've not experienced that side of thing, but I'd say definitely coordinator. At least, at the minimum,
you do
coordination
as well. So planners and
yeah.
Tell us the difference between the two.
Oh, how long do you have?
Yeah, coordinator. Even one thing about that is that I always tell my couple, I know you've planned your wedding, but do you know without coordinators, everything that you have planned might not run smoothly if you don't have coordinators.
Yeah, we've seen it happen too many times.
Coordinators is key to me. Apart from I'm talking about from your own, but no, from my own. Coordinator to for the day to run smoothly.
Yeah.
Or seamlessly, you need day coordinators.
For you to not worry about anything. I've seen instances where there was no coordinator.
That's it. Pay for your peace of mind.
Somebody was coming to the bride asking about ice. What are you talking about?
I don't
On
know.
her wedding, she's in a wedding dress. You're asking her for ice.
What? And maybe some of the aunties have promised, or your friends,
if
they would have promised to help you, but your friends are enjoying themselves.
They're there to enjoy.
Your auntie
are
satisfying a guest that she invited to the wedding.
So yeah, I'd say definitely for me, number one is wedding coordination.
Okay.
Number two, that's got to be food. I think it has to be food.
But we're on all.
Yeah, food is on all three.
And I'm sure the caterers in the UK, they know me.
They
do. They do. Because I know food.
Yeah.
And I
lastly,
like good food.
Oh my goodness.
Lastly, we'll do one quick word of advice to people that plan their wedding. If they're thinking about planning and coordination, or I don't know, what is one thing that they should consider?
I'll let Ronke go first. One thing they should consider.
I will say two things, but I'll try and roll it into one. It's actually not to consider. I think it's more of an advice.
Okay.
I'm feeling very philosophical.
Give it to us.
Planning a wedding is not stressful. I think it's the lie of the devil. A lot of couples start with that, oh, I'm so stressed.
Okay.
It's because you've been fed so much lie. It is one of the most joyful and enjoyable thing you would ever do. So that's the first. And then secondly, planning your wedding is a means to an end. And the end is marriage. I would suggest if you spend a fraction of the time you spend on Instagram scrolling for photographer, videographer, and all of that on preparing for your marriage, planning your wedding will become less stressful or less worrisome. So, yeah.
I like that.
That's very good. Very good. And from where she stopped, I will continue. I would like to say to the couple, don't rush into, and don't let the society pressure you on getting married. There is no time factor for marriage. Anytime you decide to do it, the Bible says it makes everything beautiful in its own time. Ecclesiastes 3:11, that's one of my favorite scripture. Anytime you decide or God ordains you like to get married, that is the right time. Please don't let society pressure you. Don't rush into anything. If it's not the right guy or the right girl, please don't go into it. Don't manage. You can't manage. You're not allowed to manage. And don't let anybody say to you, what are you bringing on the table? I'm not talking for ladies now. I'm just saying general, both men and male and female. Please think about it very well. It's not about the wedding. It's about the marriage.
Yeah.
And the last one, don't let anyone decide who your alaga is going to be. Make sure you're the one deciding. And not this one, the parents and the bride or the groom, the couple.
That's so funny.
They tend to fight on this. Mom, I want the fabulous. Your parents want another person. And no offense to the older generation. And I cut across to both generations anyway. Please, if you really, really, really want a particular alaga and not just the fabulous, go for it. Don't let anyone pressure you to choose somebody else, or maybe because of cost. Half of the time, we were gonna talk about that cost.
Can I just jump in? I know time is well spent.
Jump in.
Just to go on the point over there.
Okay.
choosing a vendor has to be a heart decision and not Instagram decision, because it's not all things that glitter is gold. I've been in this industry over 20 years and I have worked with so many different vendors, and I know from experience that when you book somebody because they look good on Instagram or they're the fad, honestly, the disappointment that comes out of that, it is you will not tell, people will not tell you when they've been disappointed because they feel ashamed. So honestly, make sure it is a hard decision and it is not a fad decision, because then you have to live with it. And yeah, anyway,
I was going to talk about
I feel
cost.
like we have to come back.
I'm telling you, it's not
There's
enough.
too much to talk about.
Yeah,
Talk about. But
Mide, can we talk about the cost
we can
between
do it part
Alaga and
two.
MC? The cost.
Let's do it. Quickly.
Like an MC. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quickly.
I'm
Okay,
out of
guys,
Take
on
the
a more
time.
no, you're part of us. On
Okay,
a more
cool.
serious
Let's
note,
go.
who do you think should get paid more?
Oh my
An Alaga or don't forget, I'm an MC as well. MC or an Alaga. Who do you think should get paid more? Because right now in the industry, something is up, and I'm advocating for the Alagas. Personally, I think Alaga do more than the MC. I'm sorry, I do MC as well. I do Alaga, but they prove me wrong.
I think I think in the time that you're there,
Yeah.
the Alaga does more. In the traditional ceremony itself, from the start to the finish,
Yeah.
the Alaga's probably speaking 85% of the time. Whereas at a wedding, our speech, I'm handing over the mic, or something, I'm handing over the
I
mic.
am glad you mentioned that. I am glad you mentioned that.
However,
okay. Okay.
I want to hear.
I as an MC,
Yeah.
I'm there from the time it starts till the end of the night. When the DJ...
You don't start when we start. You're not there when we start.
No,
when
if
I'm
that-
leaving traditional wedding, you are just arriving midday.
No,
what
but
I'm
sometimes...
saying-
But you guys will arrive for
Yeah.
your traditional and leave as soon as it's done. I don't leave as soon as my MC part is done. I'm still there supporting the DJ, doing hype man until the end of the night. So in terms of the hours of time that I spend is a lot more. So they're paying for my time there rather than what I'm doing per se, if that makes sense.
They're paying for my craft as well.
They're paying for your craft, but they're also paying for my craft. So the craft element is one cost and the time element is another cost.
What about this? We come way earlier than before we start as well.
You
Because
do?
they're gonna
Hold on
yes.
one second.
Sometimes they haven't started
Hello?
2 or 3 hours before the ceremony. What about that?
Okay, give me 2
And we're
seconds.
waiting 2 or 3 hours before we start.
I think our time is up.
Okay. I think I have to go now. Bye, everyone.
We
We
have-
have to continue this episode.
We're
We
gonna-
have
we're
to
gonna
come
run it
back
back.
talking about the cost of an Alaga and the cost of an MC.
See, cost.
We're gonna do that.
Cost is a whole
It's a whole topic
dissertation.
with all sorts of
every-
twists
We'll come back
and
on
turns
this.
and discussions.
Every single vendor.
But ladies,
Cut.
it's been an absolute pleasure.
Cut.
We have peace between the Alagas and the MCs.
I haven't seen that piece yet. Until I will still record. I will still rolling or it's cut.
Right.
Are we
We're still rolling.
Ah, it's still rolling.
But we need to every 10. It's been a pleasure, ladies. Thank you very much. We have
Is this on camera? I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
we have,
so cute.
food from our food vendor, Echo Cafe. So we have patch of jollof and small chops as well. So this will be going to you guys. But yes,
This is so nice.
it's been another
Thank you.
episode of The Vendors Table. Catch us on YouTube, Spotify,
Guys,
Apple Podcast.
let us know if you want us back, because I want to be eating this food
We do.
every week. Tell me in the comment section, as it's posting it, tell every one of us and everybody, do you want the Fabulous back? So I want to come back because I need to get that MC part and Alaga. We need to sort this out.
Yeah, let us know. We'll do it.
I'll come back with you.
Yeah.
Thank you, because because Ronke loves tradition and she loves culture and she needs to come back as my backup. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having us, midday.
It's been a pleasure.
I've enjoyed myself, and
It's been good.
It's been a lovely atmosphere. Thank you
Indeed,
very much.
indeed. But yes, we'll
Bye,
see you for next time,
everyone.
guys. Take care.